had the Promethean board in my classroom for over the course of 3 years, and I mean the changes have been nothing less than dramatic. Before, it was very hard to get a bilingual population very involved and very enthused in something that was so abstract. There's a lot of abstract concepts that are taught in the 5th grade, whether through math, science, or reading, that the students just can't grasp, because how can you bring something out from the outside, such as a glacier, when we live in deep South Texas? So to bring that in through the Promethean board and have them be able to manipulate that, where there is movement in front of them, where they can manipulate changes as a glacier goes through, for example, is something that I would have never been able to replicate had I not had this board. I also think that with the use of this technology, of the iPad, of the innovation that we have with Promethean boards, with Mimeo Teaches, with Mobies, everything that ECISD has provided for the district has allowed us to incorporate technology in the learning of students, which means just because they're not getting it at home doesn't mean that they're not going to be exposed to it. So long term, when they're 20 and they're applying for a job somewhere, they have technological background because of the school district that they came from. The classroom is now preparing the student not only educationally, academically, but also technologically as well. So the engagement of the student, the participation level has completely increased. Everybody wants to be up at the board, and if they're not at the board, we have handheld devices where students can participate individually, where if they're scared to stand in front of a group of people, they can send me their response and I can automatically check the feedback, and I can see if I need to do a quick reteach on a particular subject, and they don't feel intimidated because they're here, they're sitting in front of you, and they want to know, when am I going to turn this on? When am I going to get to hold my device again? And they take care of it. They're responsible for it, they're involved, and they know how all of the technology works in the classroom. Referring back to the active expressions, those give the teacher an automatic result system on an Excel spreadsheet where I can take the data analysis of whatever presentation I was showing the students, introducing, reviewing, what have you, and then I can go back, edit my data, and I can pinpoint where my small group instruction needs to be, where the holes in my curriculum are, so that I can better myself and I can better my students. I've been at this campus for over 5 years, and we used to struggle. Honestly speaking, over the first 2 years, it was very difficult, even to hit the 80s. But as soon as we brought in the technology and we incorporated something that the students were actively aware of, they became more prominent to success. Because we take benchmarks every 6 weeks and we do reviews and we review with this technology, you can actually see the improvement. Over the past 3 years have shown nothing but growth. We've hit the 90th percentile in all reading, math, and science. The scores are phenomenal. Do we struggle? Of course. But the scaffolded growth of the student is there, and it's prominent. 21st century classroom at ECISD is composed of a document camera, a laptop, some type of new technology, innovative technology, whether it be an iPad, a Promethean board, a Mimeo Teach, which is very similar to this, and then you take a regular whiteboard and you turn it into an interactive board, and Mobies or Interwrite pads, whatever your campus may have at their disposal. The good thing is that there's a seamless transition with everything that the district has provided the ECISD teacher. The ECISD teacher can pick up any one device and use them and integrate them concurrently. They don't have to use each one independently as their own entity. That's no longer the case. I can use my Promethean board, I can switch over to a document camera, project that as well, and then go right back to my presentation. So there's no reason why I have to sit down with the kids and only do paper all day and then show my presentation as a separate part of my lesson. I can go back and forth and toggle between Google Earth on an iPad, a Promethean board presentation, and a document that's underneath my document camera. So, before we can do erosion, right, we have to do weathering. Weathering means to break it down. Erosion means to move it and move it. Deposition means to stop. Good. Where can I deposit all of this dirt?
All of our classrooms at Canterbury, here at Canterbury Elementary, are what we consider 21st century classrooms. So every teacher has a laptop, an Interwrite pad, a document camera, a media projector, and now slowly all classrooms are moving toward incorporating an iPad as well. We also have Mimeo Teach, which basically turns all whiteboards into interactive whiteboards. So this allows both the teacher and the student to play a very active role in any lesson all day long in every single classroom. So that's how we've seen the teacher being able to have the student be more of an active participant in every lesson. A lot of the lessons that the teachers have begun using with this interactive, these interactive whiteboards allow the students to actually get up out of their seats and participate more fully in the lesson. So instead of maybe something that would have been paper pencil, checking their knowledge using paper pencil, the students can actually come up to the board and use the Mimeo pen and actually interact that way. And it also allows the teacher to have more mobility in the classroom as well. So they're not stuck at a desk, say for example, they're getting up, they're walking around, they're able to monitor their students more that way. So that interaction really adds a level to those lessons. In the past 3 or 4 years, we have utilized our video conferencing equipment for what we call virtual field trips. So our students are able to come into the library and using our video conferencing equipment, they are essentially able to travel to anywhere in the United States, anywhere in the world for these virtual field trips. So the students are able to interact with personnel at museums, at McDonald Observatory, that's one in particular. So different areas of the curriculum we're able to touch on. We've also used that for different events such as Skyping. We've used that with one of our classrooms. We Skyped with someone in Japan. We also Skyped with one of our troops, some of our troops I should say, in Afghanistan. So we've incorporated that distance learning, that video conferencing in that manner.